All right, ready?
All right,
One.
yes, and we are live. Hey, Frank, how are you?
Man, if I was any better, I'd be you. Like Paul Hoppers.
All right, guys, welcome to episode 8 of How to Start Your GrooveKart Store using print on demand. So, another exciting day, Frank. A little bit cold here in Florida. For the past couple of days, we have that strange feeling of coldness.
Yeah.
And well, guys, we're going to try to complete the process today, try to keep going with what we need to do in order to create a print on demand store. Last week, I believe we left off in a couple of things with the product page. So for this week, we are going to continue and we're going to be talking about menus and how to deal with certain things when it comes to the product information, categories, also activating the social apps that we have in GrooveKart so we can actually just keep, going on the process. So, Frank, how's everything, man?
Doing good, doing good. Excited to be here. Thank you guys for attending. We are going to get going right now. We'll just jump right into the builder in a second. We'll review the last few changes we made to the product page. And then, you know how me and John do it. We'll take turns. We'll pass the baton back and forth. And he might think of something. I might think of something. And we're just going to get rocking and rolling. We're going to take questions probably maybe halfway through for 5-10 minutes maybe, and then another few questions at the end. How about that?
Yeah, I think that will work. I think we're gonna do, as you said, right about in the middle, 5-10 minutes, and then we're gonna go for an hour and most likely an hour and a half. We calculated an hour, guys, but it's always good amount of information that we can provide you. So it will be always good to extend a little bit and just cover the topics that you want. Now, one thing to remember, guys, is this: if you want to be identified by the system, so you know who we're talking about when you ask the question, when you need to contact us, please click on that link so you can actually allow StreamYard to identify you using Facebook so we know who you are. Awesome. All
All
right.
right.
Hey, let's just say hi to everybody now. We have
Yeah,
Rick, we
yeah.
have Jason, we have Jason Magny, we have Christian. Hey, Christian, how you doing, my friend? So Christian Tamili is holding all the way from, I believe he's Netherlands. I think that's where he's from.
Or
Or
Sweden
someplace like that
somehow.
in your, I think Sweden is somewhere around that vicinity. But anyways, that will be as you can see, guys. We have a huge reach when it comes to our GrooveKart users. Also, Dwight, I believe that Dwight is from the UK, so we have a lot of people from all abroad. So that's awesome, guys. So for today, we're gonna continue. So Frank, how about that? Let's
Yeah.
just
I'm going to share my screen, and guys,
awesome.
I'm on a new laptop. So, John, if you see something weird, let me know. Okay. So,
No worries.
all
I'll
right,
be take a look at here.
all right.
And so while Frank does that, guys, so let's just continue with a couple of things that I wanted to mention. Oh, actually, Christian is from Sweden. Thank you, Christian, for letting us know. And again, today the dynamics is going to happen as always, guys. We're going to be talking about the things that you should do, the things that you shouldn't do when it comes to your GrooveKart store, and of course with updates and news and things of that nature. It's very casual. We're not following a script. This is not something that we follow with a certain pattern because we want to test it out. And we're going to keep doing it this way so we can actually provide you the information in a very relaxed manner, not so focused on certain things. But in the same token, we're going to provide a lot of information. So, hey, Jim, how are you? I'm going to just say hi to everybody that is coming in. Robert, Christian, Vlado, Robert Foley. So, all right, Frank, ready to share your screen, my friend?
Yeah. Can you see? It should look like a white screen, right? Or no, not yet.
It should be working. Yep, right
Oh,
now.
there you go.
Perfect. Alrighty, so let's get ourselves off camera so we can actually have a full experience here.
Perfect. All right.
Awesome.
There you go.
All right,
Cool.
guys.
All right. So let's go here. We're going to go straight to the product page, and I'm going to open up the actual store like I always do, and just have it open. And now let's actually let me go to the products real quick and open up the product that we have set up so far because we're going to add more products, guys, and because we're actually going to test traffic to this store. I mean, we're going to actually do it. If we start making sales, John Garcia and I, we're going to try to get approval to, if it starts making sales and actually starts doing something, we're going to see if we can use that money for developers. So, all right. So you should see the store right now. You see it, John?
Yep, I actually looking at it, Frank. So let's just keep going.
All right. Perfect.
And I
So
guess we're gonna pick up from where we left off last week. We were kind of just closing up on the product page,
yeah, it looks pretty
and
good. These are the recommended products. Other cat owners also liked. Cat swag customer feedback, and everything else is looking good. We just got, remember, guys, we're using just white, black, and yellow. Okay, and so our buy buttons, things like that, anywhere we can control it will be yellow. Coming in the future with the new builder update, you'll be able to change all colors for every button. Right now, the buy button, I believe, on certain pages is not buy, but the checkout is green. But soon we'll be able to have full ability to control that on your end when the new builder comes out. So this looks pretty good. Do you have any suggestions, Mr. Garcia?
well, actually, we did cover everything that we recommended last week. Remember, use the creativity in the buttons when you're gonna order the product. When you have your customers order the button, or click the button to order, rather.
Yeah,
And I like the way that you actually added the graphics because it makes it look more organized and it loads faster.
yeah. Let's see here. Let's see. And so here's the deal, guys. This page is actually doesn't have a lot of stuff on it because we haven't gone back and set up the product. The product is just the title. So on another session, we're going to dive in all about if you're using Printful and or any other print on demand provider we have, we're going to show you what to look for in the product settings, which that brings me to this. We have also more exciting stuff coming. We're going to have a simplified product setup. We're going to have simple versus advanced for those of you that want to get up and running quickly, and we're streamlining everything. And you're going to be excited and appreciate that because it's going to be easier for you to get up and running, and it's going to save you a lot of time. Actually, probably reduce your setup time by at least 60%, if not more.
Wow,
So
that will be definitely a good amount of time saved when it comes to creating new stores. So that's great.
yeah, because the quicker you can get up and running, well, the quicker you can get those campaigns going, traffic, et cetera, testing things and seeing if you got a winning idea. So, all right, so let's see. So as you can see, there's not any details here. We're going to cover that in another session. But any other features, John? We're going to go right here to the builder and let's go to the pages. And let me just remind you, Groovesters, when you're working on the product page, remember what we said before. Coming soon will be the ability to clone a layout, and there'll be reasons why. We explained that in one of the other trainings. And don't be afraid to create a new one, because remember what we did last time. I made a new one, and we made a sample of what we wanted it to look like. So don't be afraid to come in here and create new product page layouts that you might surprise yourself. You might create something that you like that's not in here by default. So with that being said, do not forget about right here, these elements. These elements are all items and all elements that you can drag in here. Okay. So like if you wanted to add a bump product, you could add it here, right? You could drop it, let's say here, right above that, right? In this case, I don't want that. We actually have improvements to bumps coming. I mean, the more I talk, the more I'm like, oh, we got this coming. We got that coming. I'm really excited for GrooveKart simply because we have so much good stuff coming for you this year and this quarter and every 2 weeks. And I have to do some homework on the affiliate module. The affiliate module, our lead developer gave me the video to look at. And let me be honest, I got to get caught up and review that today. So a lot of good stuff coming. So John, you want to touch base on anything related to the elements or anything you see here, just to remind our Groove family what they're looking at when they're building something in the builder? If not, no worries. We're going to keep on going. So let's see. He was probably muted. So So look, so related products. This is just an element. Okay, product reviews is an element. Okay, so here in the previewer, you see some right there. So what I encourage you to do in the beginning when you first launch your stores, you don't have any. So you could technically, you could set one up on your own, but always be honest. Like in other words, like if you set up your own review, just say something about love the quality. If you're doing Printful or Tscape, they both have good quality. Okay, anything like that. You don't have to be very specific, but then once you start driving traffic and you start getting customers, people are going to start setting up reviews on your own. All you need is one or two, and it's not that big of a deal. But you want to make sure you include that in your store so that you can start getting feedback once you start getting traffic. So these are all the elements here. We mentioned that before, and you decide whether you want, a clean store or you want one that's really a little bit more aggressive. I don't think we touched base on this, but let me show you this, like these under global elements right here under scarcity. There's this cool little thing here that, I'm the type of person that will add something like this to my store, simply because I know it works. And I might even, the last store I had with a friend of mine, we had it for a while, and I mean, we had a timer on there. I'm not gonna lie. So, and the timer was set until midnight, and we used the small one like this, and then in our case, we might use black because it matches our color scheme, and this one's going to midnight. That's the layout I used to like, and it's just a timer. It doesn't tell nobody anything. It doesn't say anything. Just the fact that the timer is there, it's been proven and proven, especially by our leader and CEO Mike Filsame, John Cornetta, Matt Serrato. They all agree. They've done, we've looked at the data before, and they've looked at the data when they've had other companies. Just by adding a timer, you're increasing your conversion no matter what. So just keep that in mind. I'm not going to leave it. We're going to keep our site nice and clean, but there's all this stuff here. And then, you could even add this, something like that. And this, remember guys, the cool thing about these elements is you can put them anywhere, whatever makes sense to you. What happened here? I clicked out of there by mistake. Okay. So whatever makes sense to you, you can put elements on your store, on your pages, and make it look how you want it. That's the beauty of GrooveKart. There's other platforms out there that, so there's a lot of things you can't do in certain parts of the website. You're basically at the mercy of the theme and the settings of the theme. You want to add anything, John Garcia?
Yes, actually, yeah, I do. And sorry, for some reason it kicked me out, and I had
No.
to just reload my set here. And what I wanted to mention was, especially when you guys are adding the actual counter, the best way to add that and the best way to have that manageable in a way that you can maximize the use of that is when you're promoting a single product.
Yes, of course.
Because when you have it in your product page, it's great because it will show in every single product that has selected that product page. But remember, you can select that when you create a schedule where you're going to have promotions. Let's say this mug or this T-shirt or this sticker
Mhm.
or this product is going to go on a special for 12 hours, 24 hours, whatever you decide to actually set it up. So when you do your ads, you combine them with the ads and then you drive the traffic to the page. So when people see the actual counter, they realize, okay, so this is serious. If they put ads informing me of the product, informing me that this is actually going to be a sell, I rather take advantage of this and actually purchase it. And we have all seen this and lived it every single November when actually Black Friday and Cyber Monday comes about,
Mhm.
because most products are in an offer and most products they need to sell more because they actually get discounted prices. So this is a way to actually have that in there. And as I said, you can have it in the specific products. You can create, let's say, 5 products that you want to have in your store discounted. For example, I mean, right now coming up, we have what do you call it? We celebrated in February. I'm married, so I don't remember these things. Um, what do you call it?
Valentine's.
Valentine's Day. I'm sorry. Yes.
You're about to say Thanksgiving. No, I'm
I
joking.
was about to say, I was about to say something else, but yeah, Valentine's Day, guys. So Valentine's Day is the perfect way to test this out. So let's say you have a T-shirt that says "I love you" or "I love my cat" or "I love my dog," whatever it is that you want to express a feeling. Once you add the actual counter, it cannot just intend something, and the intention here is to actually let you know the customer, hey, there's a promotion here, so you can actually add that and combine it with a code or a promo for a limited time. So we have that, and as Frank said, many of our competitors have it, but you have to pay for the actual plugin and for the actual
Yeah,
app that actually
yeah.
does that. So
Yeah, that's a
you have,
beautiful. That's the beautiful thing about GrooveKart is. Let me stop sharing real quick. Go to me and you, John. That's the beautiful thing about GrooveKart is, I mean, all these things that we have are included in the app, and it's by default. So you have all these powerful features that are cooked right into it, and we encourage you to do it. I wanted to touch base on something while John was talking. What if, and I'm standing up, guys, so I'm trying to get. I don't like my double chin, but anyway. So what if you wanted to test clean versus aggressive, direct response type scarcity page? This is what you could do. Write this down. You ready? Okay. Let's say, like John mentioned, you had one product. Let's say it's the gyro top, right, John?
yep,
Remember, John Garcia and David Lemon did the Gyrotop training series a while back. It's a beautiful series. I encourage you to go back and look. Go to the YouTube channel and type in GrooveKart, and you'll see it was a 3-day, a 3-session training. So listen, let's say you have this thing you're selling, you sell one product on GrooveKart, and you wanted to see which one converts better, clean versus like aggressive with timers and all this sort of stuff. Here's what you can do. You have your original product, okay, and then you duplicate that product, and then you just name it something else, like V2, like version 2 or something. Okay, so stay with me. You have version 2 product. It's the same clone of the other one. Okay, now check this out. Now you go and make a different. The first one you have original is the clean version. Okay, that's a clean version for the product page layout. So this is what you can do. You go make a new product page layout, and you add the timer. There's so many people are watching or viewing this product. You add the little countdown slider thing. You add all this stuff, right? And then you add, let's say, I don't know, the discounts, group discounts. I mean, quantity discounts, all this stuff. I recommend you add quantity discounts to every product you have. Anyway, so you go do that. You make that product page layout and call it aggressive or something. Then you go back to the version 2 clone product you just made, and you change by default in the product settings that layout. And then you drive traffic to both. And then you
yeah,
compare which one's making you more sales. I mean, that's a very manual, but a very easy thing you could do to see, oh, wow, the clean one it converts better. Or depending on your niche or your audience, you'll say, wow, this one with the timer, man, it's giving me an extra, 0.5%. Now, 0.5% conversion doesn't sound like a lot, but let's say you make 1,000 sales in a month compared to, less than half, that 0.5%, that can turn into a lot. You know what I mean?
yes.
So
And
think about that. That's one manual way of doing it to see which way you like better. Even though, like I think you mentioned this before, John, we might like it one way, but the market responds another way. And let's
I
just
was,
go with the
yes.
market.
Yeah, I was about to go there because remember, guys, we have to design the store as we like it to see it, but thinking of our customers. And if our customers like certain experience, given oh they like to see the timers, they like to see the social proof, they like to see certain things, then they will let us know by doing what? The orders. If you see that the scale is actually larger when it comes to a page that has more of those little trinkets that we can offer you to actually put in your website, then you can continue. You can actually just keep that product going that way. But in the other hand, if you want to make sure that your page actually loads faster and you have a better experience when it comes to that, then you just kind of use the simplification on that process. Remember, you have to test the fields. You have to do we call it in the market A/B testing. Like you have test A, test B. You have set the parameters for test A. So test A is all the trinkets, the highlight, the social proof, plus a little bit more colors. And option B will be less colors, more to the point. It will probably just, what will be the effect? So
Yeah.
A/B testing always
And
works.
you just gave me an idea. I'm going to request a feature. It won't be slated anytime soon, but I think this would be a cool little, a simple, not visual website optimizer advanced. No, it'll be just a simple feature we can add to what you're just saying. Maybe by the end of the year, if we get a lot of stuff done early, it'll leave us some time and I'll gauge that. So we can add a simple, just what you said, a simple A/B test to where I'm driving traffic to one link. It's got two product pages, and then it tells me which one's converting better based on one was simple, one was Frank Salinas, Dan Kennedy style, the other one was clean,
Correct.
Damien Bradshaw style. And then
Right.
we look at the stats, and next thing we know, oh man, clean is winning, or vice versa. And I'm gonna put that in our to do, not anytime soon, but we get enough stuff done with features and bugs, fixes, and all this improvements, and we'll push to get it done before the end of the year because I think that would be really good for everyone.
Yes, and remember, guys, something that I always have mentioned during the sessions for GrooveKart: go by the data. Don't make decisions based on gut feelings, or oh,
No,
because I've heard this, or because my friend is doing this. Remember, nothing is more important for your business than your data, your customer information, what products they're looking at, what products they actually didn't look at, or they did look at briefly. All that stuff that you can gather once you connect the Google Analytics allows you to create those steps. And that is a lot of the information that a lot of people, a lot of business owners, a lot of online business owners, they don't take a look at it because, oh no, it's just the data. No, but the data will help you to predict and to understand where you should actually add the money for advertising, if you should invest time in doing A/B testing, you should be actually doing any extra stuff, or maybe new channels, for example. Let's say you were doing Facebook and you were very
yes,
successful in Facebook, but one, I don't know where, your Facebook channel sales stopped going at the rate that they were coming in. So test Snapchat, test TikTok. So those things, data will allow you to do that. And I know for a fact that when it comes to the integrations for the Google Analytics, it has improved a lot on the Google ends, because it was before, it was, you needed to have a certification, which I happen to have back in 2002. I got started for the first time with Google Analytics. Now the process is just more systematic and simpler to understand the data and to
yeah.
gather it, which is the most important part.
And what you mentioned while you're talking, I'm like, you can do this now with Google Analytics if you set up your URL tracking, the TID, no, the
Yes,
UTM. I
the
forgot what
UTMs. Yeah.
UTMs. What does it stand for?
Unified. I'm trying to remember, but
Okay, so guys, you can just Google UTM URL creator, and then it'll. There's tons of different websites that have it, and when you set up the UTM's properly in your store, GrooveKart, which we always recommend to have Google Analytics, you could actually do that manually. Just looking at, like John said, TikTok, all these different channels, and then you could have but you would still have to have both product pages, so that way you could see, and you would still have to split the traffic. So you still have to do that. Google Analytics ain't going to do that. But you could look at, oh, okay, product B is converting at 3.5%. Product A is 2.5%. And you send enough traffic, then you can manually just verify it through looking at the Google Analytics reports and decide that. But I think that little feature would be just for maybe people that want to. I mean, listen, um, I know this. I've always been, when it came to e-commerce, I'm no like analytics expert. John Garcia knows way more about analytics than I do. I was more like, I test a campaign, money in versus money out. I spent this much, I made this much. What's my profit? And if I'm in profit, I keep on going.
exactly.
I'm not very. There's probably people watching this that are way more advanced at that kind of stuff. I learned from John Cornetta when we were doing e-commerce stuff. And he's like, Frank, if I'm spending $10 and I'm making 12, I'm gonna keep on going, because guess what? All that extra cash flow is coming in, and
Right.
this is the reason why I did 1.3 and he did almost 5 in 2017. And it was that simple philosophy that he had. Hey, if I'm in profit, I got the pedal to the metal, and I'm gonna strike while the iron is hot, as much as I can, as fast as I can. because you just don't know. Sometimes platforms change, the audience gets banner blindness. Maybe you go through the whole 5 million audience. Maybe your niche isn't that big or whatever. And so all these factors play into doing this. So,
Yes,
so
it's
we're
very
gonna make
important.
yeah, we're gonna make it to where, if you don't want to become an analytics expert. Now, I encourage you. I encourage you to learn, if anything, Google Analytics, just to learn how to understand the reporting and how to do the UTM stuff so that you can track properly. And maybe I would say after this training series is over, we might have a training series, just 1 2 hour webinar of understanding. What do you think? That would be good, right? Understanding
Yes.
analytics and how to use UTMs, and so that when you advertise on TikTok or advertise on Instagram, you can look at that and understand. Oh wow, I need to double down on Instagram or
Yes.
whatever.
Yeah, and by the way, guys, the UTM stands for not universal, but urchin tracking module, I believe it is. Yes, your urchin tracking module.
There you go.
So
Putting your feet to the fire, right?
yeah, because I couldn't remember, and when that happens, I just I couldn't probably sleep if I wouldn't find out what it meant. Because
Yeah,
and also, guys, what Frank just said is important, that whenever you're actually having found the formula, because each of us will have at some point during our careers in e-commerce have found a product that works and with a formula that works. So you had this set up this way with your Facebook ads, maybe with Craigslist ad, whatever it is that working, and scale it. Don't necessarily rely on just what others are saying. Like, oh no, don't risk it too much because
yeah,
this, because keep going. I mean, that's the secret why a lot of the people that are just now very successful with e-commerce, because they saw the opportunity to scale and they took it. So don't forget that. But in
yeah,
my case, as Frank said, it's all about data for me. In a past life, I work with analytics with data. So to me, it's important whenever you're starting, because if you start thinking and understanding the data, then you can understand the longer game, the longer process. Because as you scale, you need to have more data.
yeah,
And if you understand that easier, is it help you understanding your scaling process a little bit better.
yeah, and about the data. I mean, think about all these companies that are free. What are they? What is their main? The main bread and butter is our data, guys. I mean,
Yeah.
let's not kid ourselves. I mean, we are the product, so data is key.
What do you think Amazon is so successful, or Walmart, or even yeah, I could probably give you two examples. Best Buy. Funny enough, and this happened this recently. Best Buy is starting actually in their forms when you're actually doing a checkout, or when you're talking to a consultant at the store. They ask you questions that you should never expect to be asked. Like, for example, I was buying a gift for my kids, and they asked me, "So who's this product for?" And I said, "Oh, for my kid, for one of my kids." Oh, great. How old are they? Oh, they're 10. Oh, great, awesome. Then I realized, what did they ask me? I didn't see her typing anything. I didn't see her, just interacting with any forms or anything. But funny enough, a day later, I received an email. Thank you for your purchase. Here's your receipt, because I requested my electronic receipt. And here are more recommended products. And lo and behold, what do you guys think they recommend? Video games, consoles, extra control, cables. And I'm like, wow, they're doing data mining to the best. So we can do that. Imagine if you have in your form, or in your landing page, or whenever in your products, if you ask a question like, hey, is this a gift for your wife, for you? Just a second, an extra field that you can have. Oh, this is for my wife. Perfect. Guess what? You can use that data to send the same person, the same customer, a link to say, hey guys, probably in your newsletter, hey, I found this, and you can segment. But I'm talking about once you have a process established, and that is the part of these sessions that are going to be more in depth. Right now, the first 10 are going to be just fun, set up the store. most likely from 11 forward, we're going to have more structured conversations with the specifics. For example, we're going to do one for, as we said, with the Google Analytics. We're going to do for TikTok, for YouTube, for all that stuff. And I know we're going to touch on Frank's expertise when it comes to Facebook ads. And I'm going to be touching also a little bit on how to connect our stores to the Google Merchant Center and other areas. So it's going to be pretty
Yeah, so we got a lot more sessions to go. I know this is I encourage you, don't wait for the sessions to finish before you launch your store, because there's other
yes.
trainings that you can go through, including the session that David Lemon and John Garcia did a while back. It was a 3 day. What did you call it? It was a
It
three
was
day.
actually the 3 day challenge.
Yeah. So
The not expedited, but it was the it was exactly a year ago actually, but I don't remember it. I'm having
yeah,
a just a
and
mental.
keep in mind, guys. The product is improved, the platform is improved. So you might find, well, I don't see that in here. Well, it's because it's been improved. But I
Yes.
mean, once you start getting in here and actually setting stuff up, it starts coming naturally, like where to click and where to. I mean, and one of our things is the GrooveKart Accelerator. There you go.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jason.
Thank you, Ryan. Appreciate that.
Yeah. So we encourage you. I encourage you. Listen, get in there, especially if you have no traffic and it's a new store. Man, go hog wild and just play around with it. You can always reverse stuff. You know what I mean? You can always reverse stuff in the builder and set up a product. Go through it. And I made a tip today. I think test your store, like especially if you're ready to go live. Make sure you put it in test mode and test it so you can see. Maybe you spot an opportunity to put something that might help with conversions, or maybe you say, "Oh my God, I didn't realize I had a big old typo there." When you
Right.
go through your store in test mode as a customer, that's going to help you see what they see, and
Right.
you're going to either spot opportunities to improve stuff, or you're going to see something that you might need to tweak or change or edit. So it's really good stuff. I know we've talked a little bit a lot here, but I think it's important because you just when I've discovered, when I've helped people, people have worked with me when I'm teaching somebody. Even years ago when I wasn't doing e-commerce, I was doing just internet marketing. I learn and I remember things as I'm teaching, because I'm teaching, let's say, Mary how to do a squeeze page, and this is say 2010, and I'm helping her, and maybe back then it was front page or something. When
Front
I'm
page.
helping her, I'm like, oh, something triggers, and I remember something that I used to do, maybe that I just for whatever reason. So when you're teaching people, the process of teaching people helps you kind of like reactivate things, and you're learning through the process of sometimes things you've forgotten that you used to do, or you haven't tried in a while. And that's just the beauty of this, because you can rewatch this stuff and say, man, I didn't think about making two products and making two product page layouts.
Yep.
And it's just something you can do real quick within a few minutes. So with that being said, you want to jump back into the builder?
Yeah, yeah,
Let's
let's do it. Let's jump back in the builder. You want me to hold on because I actually had it here, but I had to reset.
I'm actually also, if you don't want, if you can't take control, I'm going to jump out and I'm going to sit down for a little bit, because I've been standing like 8-9 hours today. So,
So hold on. So let
yeah.
me share my screen now, guys. I think I can do that. Give me 1 second. Let me add my screen here. Give us 1 second. Share screen. We're gonna go here. You're gonna see a lonely gentleman there for a second. And let me see at the stream. Perfect. I think we can do that. Now let me bring this story here. So let me bring everything to this screen. And let me just make sure that we go here. So what we're gonna do, guys, now we're gonna just jump in a couple of things that we did mention that we're gonna be covering today, which is the categories. I mean, where do we create the categories? We know how to bring the actual products in from print on demand or from drop shipping, but where to create the product? So this is about the time now that I will recommend for the next 6 minutes to take out your notebooks and start taking notes. And of course, you can always take a look at this replay. So the categories actually are located in your product icon. Is the third the third icon down. And once you click in the categories, you will see clearly pretty much what you have in your store. I believe since this was a demo store, we only have a couple of categories: men's clothing, men's hoodies, and best deals. And I believe we did touch a little bit in the first or second episode about this, about the extra subcategory. So I am not going to actually do a lot of in this here because we do have a couple of other things to cover today. So whenever you have extra categories or levels down, they're located here in this little icon. So whenever you see this icon that looks like two folders connecting, it's because they have subcategories under it. So when you click there, when you click to view subcategories, you obviously will see what categories are related to that main category. In this case, there's hoodies and sweatpants. The way that you come back, you can actually just click the back button here in this corner. Do not click the back button on your browser, just click it here. I have a lot of our friends and a lot of the Groovesters. Yeah, but when I click the back button, just takes me to this to a different screen. Yes, I will do that. Just make sure that you do it with this little icon here in the corner. So, hey, Frank.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, since you were covering this right now, I just wanted to jump in real quick. So you see how John, one of the other sessions, he said men's clothing. So when we actually go back and set this up, it'll have men's clothing, women's clothing, and then we'll break it down that way. And then I'll let you continue, John. I just wanted to show people that because it makes more sense to do it the way the bottom one is versus women's hoodies, men's
Right.
hoodies, things like that. So okay,
Yeah,
awesome.
and because it has a little bit of a caveat, guys. So some of the things that we're gonna do, and that's why we're recommending you start with your products, then your categories, and then the rest of the pages. And in this case, for example, here, once you start working with your categories, you have to understand how are those categories going to be displayed on the site. So let me just go back here and type in my cat swag, right? mycatswag.com. We're going to take a look at the live site and the way that the categories are created now internally. So let me just go here. So we have here the best deals, contact us at guest tracking. So
Mm-hmm.
how do you actually manipulate your categories to be displayed on your site? So for that, we're going to just jump back for a second here to the actual builder.
Yes.
And it's actually a very simple process. So do not panic because here is like, oh, I got back to the builder. So right here, we go to the pages and you see here this icon right here that says navigation and pages. So these are the pages that you have currently in your site. And the navigation obviously kind of just determines the links that you're seeing. So you have home, best deals, contact us, and guest tracking. But I don't know if you noticed, guys, that we have a couple of categories here that says best deal, women's hoodies, and men's clothing. But we're not looking at men's clothing here anywhere. So let's say you want to add that category into your page. So what we're going to do is add a new element using the plus sign here in the top. You're going to see it right in the bottom. And then we're going to click the three dots and we're going to edit the menu. Editing the menu we'll put in a label. So we're going to put men's. Let's say men's clothing. Men's clothing.
How about men's to save
Or, yeah,
space?
just some space. Yeah, you're right. And then you got to make sure that you keep it within the same window.
Yes.
Why? Because you don't want people to go somewhere else and have one or four or five different windows open. Always keep in the same window. And here's the cool part. Then the link type. Are you linking it to a custom link, a product, a category, or a page? So I'm going to ask out there, if we're linking a category, guys, where should we actually select right here in the link type? Let's just wait 2 seconds, or actually 5 seconds.
Yeah.
So let's see if somebody has actually answered. No yet. And Alejandro, no worries. That is exactly what I'm showing right now. Alejandro says, can you please show us how to do the drop menu too? So that's what we're doing right now. So Jason Magni says category. That's right. So we have to select the category. So we're going to select the category and then select home, best deals. And if you notice here, guys, this is the cool part about the software. You remember that when we show you internally here in the categories, you have this little thing right here. It says like two little folders. In this case, you're going to have a plus sign within that category. So you can actually link any of these two independent categories. But since we want men's clothing, we're gonna just leave it like that and then just hit that check mark. Now take a look. So let me just save this and let's take a look if the actual menu happened. So you will see that the menu was added here at the end. It says men's. So now,
beautiful.
right here. So it's just men's. Now let's see that we're gonna go one level deeper. So we have men's clothing and we have then subcategories. So which are the subcategories? We have, I believe, was hoodies and sweatpants. So let's create those two really quickly. And let me close actually here. Sorry. So this is men's. Now, still in the navigation, we're going to create the navigation again. New menu, we're going to create two. So we have two new menus here. Click on the three buttons, edit menu. We know that it's going to be hoodies. Then the link type is a category. You click the plus again, and we select hoodies. We do the check mark. Then we do new menu here, edit menu, sweatpants, the link type, category, men's clothing, sweatpants, and click. Now, let's see what happens. We have this. We're going to select here, and we're going to see definitely the two other links right here. But oh, what happened? Why is it not under the men's category? Simply because we did not move them. Pardon me. With version 2, what we did, we have the option to simply drag and drop any category, any navigation, any category in the navigation under a subcategory so you can actually easily see it.
Yes.
So you see right there. So you have men's sweatpants, hoodies, and you can actually change it. And I will always do this, guys, and I will tell you right away the right way to do it. When you're doing navigations, always try to have your links or your pages, your product pages and categories organized alphabetically. That will help you in your SEO. For example, if possible, you start with A, B, C, D, E, F, G, all the way to C. So we have H and S. So obviously it's the first H and then S. Why? Believe it or not, Google still counts that part on the SEO and the reciprocal links and also in the hierarchy of the actual site. So that's very important. Make sure that you can, if you can possibly do that, if you have, of course, each category will have to have a specific letter. Make sure that you organize them alphabetically. Now let's take a look, shall we? So we just created this. This is how it looks now, but let's just refresh the page. Now you see what happens. Now we have a drop-down menu. So
Beautiful.
I hope, Alejandro, I hope that you notice here that you have seen how we work on the actual menu. It's very simple. You just create a category and we add them here.
So I added, while you're talking, I added, if you go back to the category, can you hear me?
Yeah, right here.
If you go back to refresh that page real quick, I
Oh,
added
on the three categories? Hold on.
I added one, and this is under men's, right? So you click in, go back in there. Yeah, should be there.
Shirts.
So, and we're gonna expand on this, guys. So we'll probably do shirts, sweatpants, hoodies, and then maybe pick another one that's specific to men's. And then later we might have. I like to go off of, and if you don't know where to start, you can just go to Printful and then look at their product catalog and use the hierarchy and the products that they have there. You don't have to build out everything, but let's say you have, I think it's called household or home goods or something like that. And then there you would have, for sure, I would sell, right, here's a quick tip. I would sell for sure some sort of blanket, especially for this niche, because it's people that love cats. So it's gonna make perfect sense. And there's a good profit margin on the Printful blanket, and I can verify one of our own uh, team member Simone ordered a blanket. And she said it was so soft. So I know off the top of my head, if you're going to be adding anything based on your niche, of course, you do want to add the blanket because it's got a good profit, some wiggle room in there because you can sell them for $60 and more for the blanket. So,
I don't know what is
and
it about wiggle that I like that word so much. The wiggle room.
yeah, yeah, because sometimes with shirts and hoodies, you're not making as much as you were, let's say, back in 2014 because the costs have gone up. But with the blanket, you can make a decent amount of profit on the blanket, and don't forget we got all sorts of other stuff. I mean, we got the laptop
Yes.
sleeve, we got all sorts of things for this series. Though, I mean, we could be here for the whole year, adding more and more and more products. So we're probably going to pick just a few shirts, a few hoodies, the designs for sure that we have on the homepage, and then we'll add something for the sweatpants, and then for sure another thing which I would say is the blanket, which is under all home and living. So on the menu we're going to have home and living on our menu, and then probably do a blanket, maybe a mug, and maybe one other item, and go from there. And so yeah, it's just, when you build out a store, let's say your niche is golfers, funny golf stuff. You could start with the hoodie, the t-shirt, the mug, and maybe not a blanket because golfing is predominantly men, but you just never know. You could maybe a water bottle, something like that, because they're out, out there golfing. It all depends on your niche. So if it's all predominantly women, then maybe you're adding more things that you think women might like. And if it's men stuff, then you might add stuff that men might like. Or it could be like this, mostly women, but there's still guys that love cats. Like I know
Right.
our good friend Paul Hoffman, he has cats. Mike has cats. I mean, so you don't rule out one gender just because you think, oh, it's only predominantly women or whatnot. So,
Yes. And I actually would like to add something to that, Frank, that a lot of the products that we're seeing here specifically in Printful are actually high quality. I wanna just extend to that. It's very high quality. And let me just show you some and I just this is actually one of the products that I have from them. This is actually a laptop case. This is a coloring laptop case. I've been talking about this for weeks
yeah.
now. My daughter came up with the concept, and we have it. We're gonna have now formally the site out in a few weeks, and that's how creativity works, guys. It will hit you in no time because you could be driving, and you can be actually just driving through even a doctor's office, and so like, how can I help this doctor to sell something cool to actually attract customers? So let's say he's a pediatrician, or he is a um, I don't know. He has an specialist. He's a specialist. Always the product to go to is either mugs or something that people can actually have all day around them because the message or whatever it is. But when it comes to the list, and let me just come back to this for a second. Let me just share my screen one more time. Why am I not seeing my screen here?
All
Uh,
right, add you to, there you go.
here. So the second thing that you need to do when product selection is who is your target? Who are you selling to? You're selling to golfers. Let's just take that example again
Yeah.
to Frank. So, water bottles,
Mm-hmm.
notebooks. Why the notebook, John? Oh, because they take notes when they're actually with their friends about or for bets or what hole are they going in, and
Yeah, I
so,
wouldn't even think of that 'cause I've never golfed before. I
yeah,
think maybe once. Yeah.
and something that you didn't mention.
Towels.
What do they have? Towels.
It's
They
hot.
do. They do have whenever in Florida. I mean, I have. I am not a golfer at all, but I've been with friends golfing or pretending that I try to golf, and they all carry towels because it's hot. And I didn't know this until I actually saw one of my friends. They always clean the handle of the actual club,
Mm.
so a towel will actually be a good situation for a golfer. What else do they have here for golfers? Anybody can take a guess?
You got me now. Now I'm thinking.
Anybody? In
Let's see
this
if anybody
page.
on this page. All right.
Yes.
Let's see.
The
Let's see.
stickers. The
Oh,
stickers. I love golf. My daddy loves golfs. And being funny, I don't mean anything by the joke that I'm about to make, but I, something related to balls because,
yeah.
of course, the golf balls.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
For sure.
any
That's
kind
yeah.
of any kind of item that you have is about the twist that you can put. As a matter of fact, I'm going to do something for everybody next week. I mean, next Tuesday, I will have, because I did this for the Groovathon, but I'm gonna do it again for this year, and I'm gonna have 25 to 30 products for different niches and markets. What products can you offer either for your own stores or for somebody else's store? Because remember, right now there is an explosion of agencies that they're gonna do what we're trying to do, but they have no idea how to do it. Funny enough, today I got a call at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and he was an agency trying to hit me out for so do you do have a website and this, and I'm like, yes, I play along because I wanted to know the process. It's an e-commerce company, I want to call it. And they said, yeah, so what products you want to do? I'm like, well, I'm into sports. I'm like, great, awesome, so sports. The guy left it at that. Oh, sports, no problem. Yeah, or biggest package, actually, you can put 200 items and it will be this. And I'm like, okay, it was quite a lot of money. Now, you know what? Thanks for the time, but you know what? I'm gonna just think about it. Always go to the detail. The secret, and Frank can attest to this. The secret of any e-commerce is the right product to the right target. If you just make it too big or too broad, then it might be successful, but it will take you longer because you don't know your niche.
Yeah. He
And
didn't
remember,
spend time with you to dive deeper. Say, okay, what about
what kind of
tell me more
sports?
about that.
Yeah.
You could have
For
just
example, scuba divers. What do they use? Towels, water bottles, stickers, also notebooks, flags, because they need to have a flag in their boat that, hey, I'm actually just scuba diving here in this area. So it's all about the creativity aspect to it. And take a look at this. And let me just go back to it. And I know I'm actually talking too long on this, but this is the part that actually kind of gets me excited, because products, you can get any kind of products for any kind of service. So there's no excuse like, oh, but is my market is saturated. Remember, again, saturation, separation. Separate yourself. Use creativity. Can you imagine? So, for example, the pet products. For pet products, you have only these little ID tags, which are great. But what else can you do with this? What else can this tag can be used for? Keychains.
yeah, because they're not going to know. You could change the description in GrooveKart, so it could
Exactly.
be. Yeah, exactly.
It
Yeah.
can be. So it's all about how creative you can be. And here's another one that I'm in love with, this one, because this is something that I personally like, because I do have kids, and kids are always a great niche to be involved. No matter what you do, kids are is a great niche. Why? Because how creative you have to be to make a bib. I mean, can you imagine the amount of ideas that you can actually create with a bib?
Yeah, it's
What?
unlimited, and then it's just jokes, especially like funny stuff. And then, I mean, yeah, it's unlimited. And then, like for our store, my cat swag, we could probably come up with a funny little phrase and put it on the bib.
Exactly. Look, for example, somebody mentioned here, golfers hit the balls harder. For example,
Yeah, see,
imagine that in a mug for Father's Day that happens to be a golfer, or for your boss that happens to be a golfer, or somebody that is special to you. So all that stuff helps you, because remember, once people order, uh, they actually will remember your store. So I just wanted to take like 7. I took 10 minutes, but I wanted to take 7 when it comes to creativity. And I will have that for you guys. I'm going to have that document ready for you guys for the next session. So I'm
Yeah,
going to try to put it 25 to 30 products with their respective industries and what to do with them. I think it would be a great help for next week.
all right. We're gonna hold you. We're gonna hold you to
Yeah.
it.
Hey,
All
it's
right.
gonna be this is gonna be recorded, so I have to now print it and do a little bit more research because I know I have 15. But so look at this, for
Oh,
example.
look at that. Yeah.
My mommy likes me better than the cat. That's awesome.
See, I mean that's. I mean, we should make that a design because that can be. We can show people how we did it from.
Hey, my
My
dad cooks
dad.
better than your dad. Goes on a bib. Look at that. You see now creativity. You see, guys, and it's by being creative. And I hope that everybody's writing these ideas because that's what it's all about. When you decide to open a print on demand, the only situation that a lot, and I'm talking about maybe 50 to 60% of the store owners get stuck is in the creative process. They don't know what to sell. So like, oh, great, I have this and I want to sell t-shirts. But okay, what is your t-shirts about? Like, oh, I don't know. I'm like, well, get going. What is your passion? What do you like to do? What do you like to offer? So Frank, how about if we go to questions right now?
Yeah, let's do some questions. I know we've been kind of not going into detail with the builder as much today, but I think, like we've been doing before, like John said, in the future, maybe by session 10 or 11, we're going to be more in depth about one specific subject and all that. But right here, it's just we're having a conversation. We're showing you some stuff, and I think that's sometimes the best times when you learn because you might
Yes.
be have an aha moment by listening to me or John, or even the questions that we're about to go into right now. So
And actually, for us as a company, and this is actually full disclosure here, this is the moments and the times that we get to interact with you guys, and we get feedback, and we get questions, and we get, let's do this, let's just do that. And in the past 3 years, I actually started the GrooveKart training with when we had the version one, and it was every Thursday from 6 to 7, sometimes 6 to 8, and it was just the how to do this. I started with the how-to show, and then we did something else, and then we had the GrooveKart challenge. And now we realize that with a structure format, a lot of people said yes, but it's the same things. I'm like, yeah, it is the same things because it's the same process, but we're gonna shift a little bit in the format, in how it's delivered. So right now it's just a conversation, two guys talking, and with you guys participating, and I'm hopefully getting the little nuggets of information, getting those little tidbits that you're gonna use for your stores. You're gonna learn the process because we're showing you how to do this, but then again, we're also adding to that small ideas, just like we did now. And for the next month, we're gonna say, hey, we're gonna help you how to create your TikTok videos, stuff that we didn't do in the past. Why? Because the technology and the cart and the whole process has evolved. And maybe in 10 years, we have to think about the metaverse, how we can actually interact with the metaverse with our stores, how we can sell tangible products into a virtual world, like many companies are starting to develop now. So those are the things that you definitely have to take a look down in the future. But let's go with some questions, shall we, hey Frank?
yes, sir. Go right ahead.
All right. I think we responded that question for Alejandro. It says, show us how to do the drop down menu. So Alejandro, I hope that you took notes. And anyways, this is going to be recorded, so you can actually see that here. Let me just go before to see if we have any questions before Alejandro. And I believe we did not have that.
Let's
Uh,
see. If you have a question, go ahead and type it in the comment section right now so we can review it. Simply because there is no wrong question. It's the question that's not asked is the
uh,
wrong.
yeah, the only question that is what he said. I had a lieutenant in the academy. He says the only question that is never welcome is the one that will save your life.
Yeah,
Remember,
that's
if you
deep.
don't ask, you don't know. And if you don't know, you might be in trouble.
Yeah.
So, what is the 3-day accelerator? Melanie, is actually a series of 3 episodes that we did with David Lemon last year, in which we show you how to create a single product store very fast. It was actually 3 episodes of 1 hour each, and we covered pretty much everything. So that's why it was the accelerator, because we just literally flew through the whole process, and we didn't want to do this time. We want to just as I said, with Frank, have more of a conversation and start with the process. And I know that you guys will pretty much get the same value out of it. Let's see. Random question. When we will have access to the templates that Damien demoed a couple of weeks ago?
Good
Frank?
question. I mean, I got to check with the developer. I mean, they were done. So let me find out. It shouldn't be anytime. I mean, it shouldn't be a long time from now. Now, I do know this, guys. We have a new builder coming out, so I'm not sure how they want to do that based on the developer and the designers. But I'll find out, and then I will actually specifically I'll tell you what, I don't know who your first name is. Send me a message in the Facebook group, and then I'll make sure to answer you so everyone can see.
Perfect. So yeah, affiliate strategy. So all right. So Jason McNee asked, I'm working in an art store for a friend. I notice he gets more complex with canvas, prints, and sizing. Yes. But you see the beauty of working with canvas, prints, and sizing? That you only need one single design. So I think that the only complexity that I see in this specific niche is that you have the right size for the master picture. Because if you're taking a picture of, let's say, her own artwork, or if you're manipulating a file, let's say in Adobe Illustrator or Photoshop, make sure that you follow the guidelines that actually Printful has. Because if you follow them to the T, pretty much to what they need, trust me, the product will come out incredible. And I know this because I helped a client last year selling photography canvas. So we uploaded the images, we actually created the frames and the canvas, and they came up pretty good. So highly recommend that product in the canvas for Printful. And Jason, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to actually send us to the support. And this is another question, and I love this. Jason also says, would you recommend adding your logo to all products? Have in mind two things. Before you add the product, specifically in Printful, and I want you guys to pay close attention to this, and I'm going to show it here because this is dear to my heart. Let me just show you here again my store. I'm actually the store. Actually, Printful. So in Printful, when you create the products, let me just go here, for example, products. Let me go here to, let me just go back to my store here, to the dashboard. I think I have connected to my own store. So let's just do something here really quickly. And again, well, for some reason, let's see, product stores. Let me just go here for a second. Oh yeah, this is actually my daughter's store for some reason. But let me just go here. We're gonna add a product. And Jason asked, would you recommend adding your logo to all products? I would recommend to add your logo to the signature product. I mean, every single store, and this is actually because of the branding, any single store will have a signature product. I don't know if you notice that Nike has a lot of t-shirts, a lot of hoodies, and shoes. Yeah. But if you want to ask anybody, what is Nike's signature product? Anybody? You, Frank?
The signature product?
Yes.
Good question. That's a trick question, I think. No, I don't know what their signature product
is. It's actually their shoes. It's actually their sneakers.
Oh, okay.
So the actual sneakers are the signature product. So they do have the branding everywhere. So in my personal case, what I like to do, one of my signature products is right here. And I'm going to kind of just self-promote myself here. One of those self-promotion, what do they call it? One of those moments where I'm going to use what I have. And you see here, this is what I wanted to go about. My signature products, because I have it in the top, is my hoodies. So you want to create your hoodie that is branded. And I actually doing this as I grow the brand. Because yes, having products that have your brand inside or outside is great, but it will cost you more money.
Yes, it's more money every time you add it.
That is the only situation that I want you guys to really understand, that every time you add your logo into, you see your inside label, for example, right here, it will be the ability to
Yes.
place your logo. And let me just show you, since I'm promoting my, well, actually, yes, it's right here. So I had it saved. So this will be my logo here. And you can see it and it looks cool. But you see, here's the deal. It will increase your product price by $2.50. So this is where you have to start understanding two things. One, is it worth for me to actually put the logo on the t-shirt as I grow the brand in all products, or in a couple of specific products to kind of push the brand? Or do I do it in all products from the get-go? In
Yeah.
my personal case, it has worked better when I just do a couple of signature products, one t-shirt, one hoodie with the actual logo. Why? Because I'm growing the site, I'm growing the store, and I don't want to have the extra expense. And that is the only caveat that I see there when you want to add your products. It's actually very easy. Here it's only a matter of having the logo handy. You just slap it in your design, make sure that you complete your design, and when you receive it, of course, check that you actually have the logo, because that's what I did. I actually ordered one of my uh, hoodies, and it's a great quality. It's actually for my wife, because I wanted to test the sizes in girls, and it has the actual logo. So just make sure that you want to take that step, and remember, it will cost you more money to have the label. That is the only caveat, guys. And once your store is growing to the point that now you need to have all the actual products with the branding, go for it.
Yeah.
Why? Because it will help you more in the branding. But that's my 2 cents when it comes to the your logo to the products. Now, let's see another question, guys. Let's see if we have any other questions. Name tag for gold. Oh, you see the ideas. So you see, guys, this is great. Somebody, how else can we use the actual tag
Mm.
for the? Let me just go back out of here. Let me just discard the changes. Let's go back to the catalog. That's actually a great idea. Luggage tags, very discreet, very cool. And here we have more products. They have face masks. They have iPhone cases, Samsung cases,
Socks, got all
flip
sorts of
phones,
stuff.
socks. These are new hair accessories. I mean, I do have a daughter, which
Mhm.
she always is asking about. Let me go to. Let me try to remember the store. I think the name is Claire. Every time we go to the mall, and she spends $20, $35 all the time. So all these options for products, companies are realizing that there is a market for it. So when we think about market saturation, think about the new options. I mean,
Now, I like to add too. Let's say you go in a specific niche. Remember, guys, a lot of the stuff that you're providing to your customers or to your audience, this stuff, the more of a unique product you can offer and get them excited about, the the better the blue ocean, right? There's a book, I forgot the exact name of it, but I think it's called Blue Ocean. But anyway, you're creating an opportunity for you. So what I made most of my money with in 2017 was, believe it or not, shoes. Not the ones you see here, but something similar. And that was because it got people super pumped up, super excited. Maybe you make a notebook store. All it is note spiral notebooks, and you're catering to maybe scientists or people that are science majors, or they're in mathematics. They're mathematics geeks, or maybe, and that would be perfect because guess where do they use them? They use them in school, right? They use them in college, or maybe all you have is bibs. Or like in
yeah,
our case with my cat swag, we're going to have many different products, but it's all catered to the cat owner. So I mean, you can do it either way. You know, maybe it's a phone case store, and all it is funny phone
yeah.
cases about moms, or funny phone cases about dads, or it's
I think this product, Frank, and sorry to interrupt,
No, no, you're good.
notebooks. I mean, if you happen to be a realtor, if you happen to be a lawyer, if you happen to be somebody that works one on one with people, a psychologist, a doctor, uh, any profession that actually works with one on one, I believe that when you give something with your information on it, like for example, here, instead of handing a business card or a thank you note, if you hand them something like this,
Oh, that's
a
beautiful. Thank you.
notebook with a big picture, like thank you for your business, or here's my information, a picture of the realtor, their website, their phone number. To me, if I was a realtor, I believe that it will be something different. Why? Because realtors actually just gave either maybe a business card or a small 4 by 6 flyer. These kind of things will make a difference. And if you're selling something, for example, this kind of products, who's to say that you could not look for quotes that are on the public domain and sell it in your site if you, let's say, work with motivational speaking, or if you're a
Yep.
business coach, or if you're a life coach, any kind of coaches, sports coaches. So imagine the possibilities. We're talking about here, guys, of possibilities. Because remember, again, the market saturation doesn't exist.
No, that's a myth. And
Yes.
like I was laughing because you said the life coach. I said, yeah, maybe you're a 19-year-old life coach and you want to sell your merch. I mean,
Believe me,
it's a
maybe
joke, but I mean, you know,
maybe not a life coach, but remember, guys, and
yes,
I was talking to somebody about new technologies and embracing technologies for new generations. We do have a lot of millennials that are actually big on learning the NFT world, the whole
yes,
non-tangible, and all these products are just ancillary items that are going to be part of their strategy, how to bring people in to expand and, and understand better those processes, those products, and those interactions. So remember, e-commerce and commerce in general is not going to go anywhere. So to me, in
yeah.
my case, saturation doesn't exist. And by the way, Frank, that book that you mentioned is called The Blue Ocean Strategy.
Strategy. Okay, yeah, yeah. So
And
it's yeah, I highly recommend you read that book, guys, because how can you how can you create a blue ocean strategy and when John mentioned, oh, it's saturated. No, 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 no. Nothing is saturated. You just got to create your
yes,
own blue ocean strategy and what differentiates you from the average guy selling funny fishing t-shirts.
yes. And for example, guys, let's say you do have your current store right now. What else can you actually sell? And yes, I am going to beat a little bit the dead horse. I am not going to mention the unmentionable, but we do know that they're still out there. They're still with different variants and things like that, and Omicron and Delta. So these products, I believe, are going to be part of our daily lives for the next couple of years. Believe it or not, I believe that masks are going to be a fashion statement at some point. And I know I touch a touchy feeling because a lot of people don't like to wear masks,
I don't.
and
That's right.
and but
That's
I
because I'm
just
chubby. I'm chubby. I start breathing heavy. No, I'm joking. All right, go ahead.
no, and because remember, we are just experiencing as a society a pivotal change in how we interact in regards to the global health. Some people believe in masks, some people don't believe in masks, but it's an opportunity for those that believe that using masks can actually be protected, which, to my belief, they have been proven that yes, it helps to reduce certain risks. But I
Yeah,
want
in
you to
some
think about
places
something.
you need them anyway, right? You need them in some places. You know,
Exactly.
it doesn't
It's
matter. You
going to
might
be
go to a place that needs it, so you have one. I have one. I just don't.
exactly.
Yeah,
No,
around here,
exactly.
no one uses
So, and what we're talking about is nothing about in a sense of, oh, you're politically
No, no,
correct
no.
on that, or no, it's just about the opportunity. If you
Yes.
are somebody that are working, let's say you're a nurse and you want to actually kind of educate or kind of be aware, or make people aware, not educate, but make people aware that maybe using a mask will improve your chances of not getting sick. And I want you to think about something. I don't know if you guys have traveled overseas in the past, well, not in the past 2 years, but before that. In Japan, specifically, anybody that is sick, even with a cold, out of respect, they wear a mask. And this is pre-COVID. This is not related to COVID. If you look at any video, and I will probably hope that anybody that is watching this will probably do this. Look at any video that is somehow related to healthcare in Japan specifically. And this is Japan, not China, Japan. You will see that out of respect, people use masks traditionally because they don't want to spread whatever they have, even if it's a mild cold. You will see one or two people with a mask in a very large group. Why? Because as a society, they understand that maybe somebody might believe that this will help, but I don't want to, be contagious to anybody else. So think about that. But it's an
Yeah.
opportunity. So
And John, so in our case, for my cat swag, can you hear me?
yeah, yeah, I can
we,
hear you.
we could make something like that says cat hair don't care, right?
Yeah,
And
exactly.
something funny like that. And we just add it to the store. And the reality is, you know what? Everyone probably has one as a backup, depending on where you live. And that's it. It's one of those things.
Yep.
Why not add it? And it's there. And like, oh, by the way, yeah, okay, I'm going to buy that because it's funny or it makes me smile or whatever. And you're adding them. And I encourage you, go look at the costs of these items in other marketplaces and things like that, and never think, oh, well, they all sell. You're always going to find, no matter what the product, you're going to find a few stores that stand out that sell them for way more than everyone else. So never think, oh, I got to price my stuff low, I'm not going to make any profit. No, never
Yeah.
think that, because if the item, the design, or the saying, or the phrase resonates with that person and makes them proud, or makes them say, that's right, that's what I believe in, or oh my god, I gotta have that, or it's funny, that's all that matters, right?
Yeah.
It's the message to market. If there's a match there, and it's just it's game
And
over, because they can't go get it at Walmart, they can't
right.
go get it at Target.
And I read in a book somewhere that there was during the 80s there was a lot of traditional marketing like in TV that they confused the actual buyers. Like let's just put a scene here, like uh there's a teacher that says I don't like masks, but in the same place you're selling masks. That generates that traffic, like okay, well this guy kind of what is he doing? But they were using in the TV commercials and in radio advertisings just to drive the traffic. Not saying that you should do it now because now the whole interaction is different. But historically, in the 80s and actually 70s, well, the whole what were they called? They have a name for a specific gentleman that worked with marketing and TV and radio. I don't remember exactly how they were called, but they had this subculture of whatever they predicted or whatever they talk about, it kind of became the trend. So use, historical data, use data. I mean, it all comes back to data. So
Yeah, yeah.
so
So we
now
had some.
guys, go for it, Frank.
No, we just had some people, Facebook user, just giving different
Yeah,
different
yeah.
things of what you can do with the
Oh,
mask.
Frank, by the way, I don't know if you saw this, but in the office we do have the new GrooveZilla masks.
No, I
They're
haven't seen them.
they're actually, if I believe they're stored where the GrooveZillas are.
Oh, hang on.
They're
Let me jump
Yeah,
out. Let me go look while you're talking.
they're in a small box.
Okay,
I
let me
saw them
look.
the other day. So yeah, they're actually pretty cool. And so coming back to everything, guys, that we're talking about, is just the opportunity, the product. And again, we're not going to touch in any kind of political reasoning or scientific reasoning because we're talking about just e-commerce. But along those things, e-commerce will give you the opportunity to use these things to segment your markets. So there's people that do and there's people that don't. So that is actually why we're talking about all this stuff. And let's just take a look more of the products. Thank you, Facebook user. Those ideas are actually great. And I think Frank found them. Let me take a look at set up a category with pro crowns for different messages. Correct. So yeah, that could be also an idea, or maybe it's a question category with pro cons for different messages. Yeah, exactly. That'd be a cool idea. I believe that's what the intent here is if you're selling T-shirts, just like why am I pro mask or why I'm against masks. So that's something that definitely you can have in your stores. So one of the things that I also, oh, look at that, oh yeah, you found them, that's cool.
Yeah. I mean, now I don't know the lighting's proper or not, but yeah, it looks good in person. It's pink, so I might have the light too bright, but so there you go. So that was here's the example of the mask, guys. I mean, it's cool, right? This is Groovezilla's. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. So this is an example. This is from Printful. The quality's good. You know, I mean, you can make a store just for masks.
Yeah,
I mean, and if you're like, well, I don't know how to run ads. Listen, let's say you have different. Here's an idea somebody could do. All it is masks, and you have different niches, all these different interests, and you start finding influencers for each interest and paying them. Find people that will charge you 30 to 40, $50 to run a campaign to your store. Remember what I told you before. I always ask them, does this include link in bio? Link in bio. What does that mean? When they do a post, a shout out to your store and to your Instagram account, make sure they are going to include your link in their bio, because that's how you're going to get traffic. Okay, you don't want to
right,
rely on just the graphic having your website domain, because a lot of people, guess what? People are lazy by nature, right? So they want to be able to just click 2 times with their finger and go to your website. So I mean, this is a perfect example of doing something with Printful. I think Simone came up with this idea.
yes.
So it's just, I mean, it's cute. Now this is mine since I put my cooties all over, and I mean, it's good quality. It's quality. It really it feels good.
It's actually medical grade. What do you call it? The internal layering is actually medical grade for what I read. So it is a good product. So we have a question here, and this is actually something that I like to actually discuss a little bit. Facebook user asks, "Can you please do the speed test on GTmetrix for this store? All my GrooveKart
Well,
stores will
let
classify
me.
me, and want to know if the problem is from me or from the whole platform."
No, this is one thing I'd like to state. This is a good question, simply because listen, we are fully transparent here, and we want to just shoot right from the hip. We have now more than ever before. We have a team of people working on the speed of GrooveKart. And one of the things we've seen, the lead developer has mentioned to me, is sometimes your items as a user, we're putting images that are way too big on the product pages and things like that, and that adds to the slowing down of our stores.
Yes.
So we are putting things in place to where we can catch that. But right now, like I think I mentioned in one of the other trainings, I uploaded one time an image, and it was like 6,000 or 9,000 pixels wide, and all that adds to the weight of your page, which makes it load slower. So speed overall, the overall platform for GrooveKart is every week that goes by is increasing speed, because we have now the developers. That's one of the things that the founders, John, Matt, Mike, wanted to address is the speed. We want to stay competitive in the marketplace, so we are constantly every week they're doing things in the back end so that we increase the speed. For the most part, if your store is not loading at, if it's loading more than 2.5 seconds, it shouldn't be doing that, because for the most part, most stores that I've tested on GrooveKart are loading less than 2.5 seconds, which is adequate enough to make sales. Because in the beginning, I had a store, one GrooveKart store that I was testing before. I think even before I joined the team, and I had a bunch of big images, not paying attention because I wanted to get up and running, and it was taking 2.7 or 8 seconds to load, and I was still making sales. So I don't want to tell you to not worry or pay attention, but do pay attention and optimize the images. I do know this: we already have image optimization for the
Yes.
product page itself. that's the most important one because that's where your traffic goes. But you always want to optimize the homepage too. So don't be uploading these humongous images and things like that. So just know that our team of developers is constantly week to week improving the speed. So eventually those grades that you get on on GTmetrix will go to C, B, and A, and we know of it already, and we started that process since before the actual new year started,
Right. And
improving the platform speed.
and one of the things that I want to add to is, remember, GMetrics, a speed test with Google, Google developers, they do have a different set of variants for each process. But at the end of the day, it's all about the experience. And I'm going to show you guys something. I'm going to just, as Frank said, it's full disclosure here. So let me just add this here.
Yeah,
I just tested mine.
look at that. You're
And
way better. I mean, way worse than than
yeah, and
Facebook.
but here's the deal. Remember, and it will tell you where the problem is. And clearly, my problems here is my images. They're actually I did
You
not
haven't
optimize
optimized them.
the images.
Naughty
But
boy.
now let's just do something here. I'm gonna take a look at this. I believe I did work on this. Let's go
I'm gonna
hunter.com.
look at one too while you're doing that.
This is a site that I helped somebody that might actually Jim is here today, and we did run this a couple of times, and I believe that he's getting a better scoring, even though it's the same platform. So let's take a look because we did actually took a look and we optimized in a session the images. We make sure that everything was kind of just working. So let's see what it says. I mean, I don't even know. You see, it's a little bit better. It's a D. It's a 2.2 seconds. Not perfect, but it's faster than mine. Now, if we run and now let's just run this for a second here. Let's just run Catswag, shall we? Let's see where we are with that.
Let's
Uh,
see. Now I'm getting nervous. Let's see. My cat swag. My cat
oh, it's
swag.
my Catswag.
My cat swag. Not your my cat swag.
All right.
We'll see. Let's see what happens. If it's an F, I'm gonna end the broadcast right now and go drink 12 beers. I'm joking.
No, we are going to get it for this side probably a C. Why? Because we don't have
I
a
don't know.
lot
I
of
have a good
images up
feeling for
front.
this. I don't know. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see.
Okay, all birds are in. I probably between C and D. Oh, look at that.
Oh, okay, but look at the speed, baby.
Yeah,
Yeah.
1.9. So remember, guys, the scoring might be different, but you have to do is this 1.9. The average, I believe, is between 1.7 to 2.3 as average, but it still
Yeah.
is on the lower end. Now
Yeah, and we
let's
want to
just
get it. This is my commitment to you. We know about the speed thing. We are working on it, and every week I'm working with Max and asking, hey, where we at with the speeds? Because our goal is to get it all green lights across. GT metrics. They're checking this, and here's what I know. Some of the developers say some of the things that you see on here are not really. I mean, it's kind of sometimes confuses users because some of this stuff isn't really that important. But the main thing is the importance is the speed because of the fact that
right,
if you have a store that loads in 4 seconds, then that's killing your conversion. We know that.
right,
So our goal is to get that number down smaller and smaller and smaller.
and
And this is
now
like full disclosure, full open. We're showing you what we're doing here. Just so you know, listen, we're not going to kid ourselves. We are actually working on this day in, day out. And we're actually bringing on another developer on the team probably in the next week or two. And my goal is to have um, increase the developers on our team for GrooveKart by at least 30% or more before the end of the year. So, and that's part of my job, right? And that's my commitment to you, the members, to making this better and better. So look at that.
right. You see, guys, in this case, I made, and this is only to prove my point that whatever we actually measure the actual speed is completely valid, but it might have different results. I use a lot of Google because it will be a little bit closer to what the metrics that we use as a company will help. Yes, my performance is in the middle. It's between 50 and 89. I'm 74. The first content is 0.3 seconds. The total load time is 1.7. So I believe I actually closed the wrong one, but I believe it was somewhere around 2.2 or 2.9. So this is my average, 1.7 to 2.2, 2.3. And it actually points the same situation, the server response time, right here, what we're talking about. We are improving that. So the only reason that we are doing this is because we want to make sure that within a year, when you guys are reviewing your stores, or within a couple of months, once everything is ready, when we have the optimization in the server and everything is being said and done, we can come back and look at this and say, okay, yes, we have improved. Like if we
Yeah.
compare when I did the speed site 2 years ago, it will not be in comparison to what we have now. I mean, back then we were looking at 3.8 because the standards
Yeah.
were a little bit different. The tools were a little bit different. So we're moving along with the industry and the performance. And that's why it's not really my store. Your store settings will definitely help because right now, and I'm going to just, let me just show you guys this. And I'm probably going to stand a little bit more, but I'm going to just show you something. You see that I have a video
Mhm.
here. I am
Yeah.
going to probably disable that video and see what happens. And you'll see that once I disable the video, it will give me a little bit more a faster speed because I'm loading a lot of items. I'm loading a video, I'm loading a couple of background images, and I'm uploading a lot of images. Mind you, this is actually images that you have to load because it's in the homepage. So that's why it's always wise not to have all your products in the front page, but something that you know is going to probably just capture the interest of your possible buyers and visitors.
Yeah, because remember, guys, most of the time, I mean, I would hope that you do this. Was you're running traffic, you have some kind of campaigns going. You need to be going to the specific product, not just to the homepage and letting people decide, because then you're wasting your money doing that. You want to
Correct.
send them to specifically to that product that you think, you know what, this is going to be hot. This is going to get them excited. This is going to make them, pumped up. Not just, oh, go to my home store or my home page. That's for the person that's curious. They're clicking around. They're making sure that, can I trust this website? Things like that. And they want to find out more about you. But I would say 90% of your visitors, they're not going anywhere but the page that you sent them to.
Desktop is 74, for example, right here. Enormous payloads. So this, it will tell you what you actually can focus. Image elements. So you see, it will tell you everything that you need to actually update in your end. You see here, I got the 2.17, but in page speeds, I have 1.7. So it's almost literally a couple of whole second in difference.
Yeah, you want to
So
do this one? This is a store I have not launched. I just played around with it, I don't know, a few months ago, and I have not got back to it. Type in this, and I'm okay with you guys looking at it. I haven't done nothing with it. Just don't steal my ideas, please. This is ideas I got from other people. So get inspired, don't steal. So just type in stickers, the
stickers,
number four .me.
stickers for
Okay.
me. Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
And you know what? We're going to test it in both ends right here.
Yeah.
Copy.
And this is like me, just, I haven't checked it. So Um, I haven't launched it or anything like that. I just got an idea, and when a certain thing hit the news outlets a couple months ago, and I just never launched it. So when I do launch it, it'll probably be with a different. I'll be testing, and let me explain to you why I did stickers for me, because stickers is coming from Tscape soon. They're actually working on it. I just talked to Jeff through email this week, yesterday, and so his developers are working on it. So I got a 2 seconds. Do a retest real quick. Do a retest. All right, and so stickers are about to be working through Tscape, which is one of our other print-on-demand partners. And the reason why I keep bringing up stickers every now and then, and yes, Frank, yes, lazy loading is coming. They're actually working on that for GrooveKart. So the reason I keep talking about stickers is because their cost to ship a sticker is only $2.50 versus Printful, which is I believe $3.85 or something like that. So listen, stickers, no matter how many stickers your order is for, if it's going to the same place, they only charge you $2.50 once, guys. Can you see where I'm going with this? What if you give them discounts if they buy 2 stickers, 3 stickers, 5 stickers? It's only going to cost you $250 once, and then you give them a 5% discount if they buy 2. You give them a 10% discount if they buy 3. Next thing you know, they spend $30 on some stickers, and it only going to, let's say they bought, let's just say $5 a sticker, and it costs you $25 for 5, but you give them 25% off of 5. So let's just, I don't know, let's just do the math. 60 cents. I don't know. What's 25% of 5? Let's do 20%. Let's do 20% off. So $25 for 5 stickers, because they're $5 each. You give them 20% off. Now it's $20. So now you say, but if you fulfill it, it would only cost you $1 per decal, $1 per sticker. So it'd be 5 stickers. That's $5, and then that'd be $250 to mail it. So that would only be $750 to mail. Yeah. That's that order, but you made how much more money versus them just buying one?
Mm-hmm.
See, that's why I'm checking with them, and they got back to me yesterday. They have their developers working on it. He'd promised before the end of the year, but we didn't hit it. But we're going to do that because I'm going to do a whole training on just stickers. That's why I decided for stickers for me, because I can do what I've talked to you guys before. This store is all about stickers, and then I'm going to be able to test different interests, different audiences, different niches. And if one starts hitting really good, guess what I'm going to add to that? I'm going to add a matching hoodie and a matching t-shirt, maybe a matching mug, because it's just found money.
Yeah, exactly. It's all about your niche, and it's all about your interest and how you can actually connect to your audience.
I mean, you could make mugs for me, or you could make pretty shoes for me, and this is just an idea. Or you could go the other route where you're targeting one niche, like we're doing with my cat swag, and then it's just different product. You can do this many different ways. Or you could do just throw spaghetti up against the wall and just do all sorts of niches, all sorts of products, and there's no correlation between them, and that's okay too. Because listen, I saw John Cornetta firsthand make a lot of money, and the store was called something like, I don't know, shopazonastoday.com or something like I love shopping, or oh my god wow.com, something is so generic. And listen, he was a beast. He was just testing different stuff.
Yeah,
he found a winner, and he just
put the
metal. And if you went to the homepage, you'd be like, you wouldn't make sense of it. But he was still, why? Because 90% of the traffic or more was just, they got excited about that one product and they bought it. And so don't get caught up too much on it. Now, if you want to take your time and be, very proper and do that too. But the main thing is just do it. Just do whichever way you're going to go, do it.
Exactly. Remember, guys, and can anybody in the audience today can tell me what place is filled with unrealized ideas?
Oh, I got it. I know this one.
Anybody?
I know somebody.
What is the single place that you will find a lot of unrealized ideas?
I know somebody knows it. Somebody knows it. Come on,
somebody must. Because this will be the last question at the end. Oh well, we're gonna have a question here, but so all right.
Yes, there you
go. Thank you, Facebook user Dwight Perry and Facebook user The Grave. So there are tons of people that took with them great ideas that could have made that difference. So don't take it to the grave. Just do it. You have the tools.
Yeah. Somebody said Etsy. Well, yeah, that
too. I was trying not to laugh, but well, since you mentioned it, Etsy. No.
Listen, if you got an Etsy store, keep it up. Don't take it down. I worked with a customer. Backstory. A client reached out to me from years ago. Hey, my fiance needs help with e-commerce. Can you help us? I said, sure. So we jumped on a call. They have an Etsy store, and she was going to shut it down because she now has her other store. I said, don't do that. Leave it. Use it because Etsy has millions of buyers, and it's a perfect place to mine for ideas from your existing customers and past customers, because you just say, thank you, you order shipped out. Oh, by the way, what did you like most about blah, blah, blah? And then they reply back. And then now that's that one email thread is now a chance for you to mine, like John Garcia said, data. What and people love to give their feedback. Come on, who
Yes.
doesn't love? Let's not kid ourselves, guys. Who doesn't like to give their opinion? I mean, come on. I like to give my opinion, and by the way, disclaimer, full disclosure. Listen, live your truth, speak your truth, right? I believe we need to do that, right? We need to be able to have open discourse. So, with that being said, if you have an Etsy store and you want to say, well, I'm going to move everything to GrooveKart, no, leave both of them. Leave both of them because the goal for us is you make enough money, you have a virtual assistant helping you
Yep.
manage the Etsy store and manage your orders on GrooveKart. You know what I mean? We don't want you to be a one-man band. We want you to have virtual assistants in a team so that you can just focus on what? Ideation, right?
Yep.
Just the money bags. Me and John, we get John's wife is probably sick and tired of Frank Salinas and tired of the fact that he moved to Florida because we're talking all the time.
Yep.
And listen, iron sharpens iron. I can't. If you're doing this alone, let me tell you, this is just me talking to you as a friend, and of course, as on behalf of Groove, the Groove family. Don't do this alone. Get people that you can mastermind with. Get people that you can trade ideas with. When me and John, when the biggest year I had in e-commerce with the store that I sold because of my divorce was because me and John were talking all the time, talking. Hey, where's my phone? Let me see. And sometimes there's a Skype call. Sometimes it was like, dude, you never guess what happened. And those phone calls, dude, you never guess what happened. Or he'd call me, Frank, guess what? Oh, try this. And guess what? And I told you on one of the other sessions, the only difference he did 4 times more money than me was because I was scared. Like I had somebody, my partner was letting me know, hey, you're spending too much money. Maybe slow it down a little bit. And I get that, right? I get that. But John didn't have anyone, being so conservative. And so he taught me, Frank, he taught me this: bite off more than you can chew and chew it. And he did. And and
Well,
and and some of the money of his profit went towards creating this platform right here.
right, exactly, and it is what it is. The guy has actually amassed a fortune with what he knew how to do. All right, Frank, I think we're pushing now the boundaries of the
Yeah.
friendship because it's 5:42, and I know we have people that might have to go to dinner or have plans.
Yeah,
So
your
let's
wife's
just
probably
let's
waiting for
just
you to get off the live stream. I know.
yeah, let's take a look. No, and besides of the fact that I have two screaming hungry kids in the back in the
Yeah, of
first place.
course.
So there's a question by Christian DCC says, when we add the DNS records of the name chip, but we connect the domain to Groove, we have an MX records mail.groovemail.com and another 2X records. Do we need these records if we have a domain with an email inbox of Namecheap? As a matter of fact, yes, because remember, you're using the email system for Groove. So yes, you will need those two records. And if you need to connect it to the Groove card, all that you need actually is just those little pieces and open your messages from the actual message system in Groove. And as a matter of fact, Christian, do me a favor, send me an email to support at Groove Digital, and I'll send you a video on how to do that
Yeah,
whenever you need
by
that.
default, your store comes with, when you connect your custom domain, it comes with support@yourstore.com. So now if
Correct.
you want to add other stuff like happiness@yourstore.com or info, then you're going to need that information to set it up inside of your registrar or whoever's handling that. Because you don't have to just rely on support at, that comes by default. That's just part of GrooveKart giving you something right out the box. Okay.
Right.
But you can go and add additional emails using the
The
data that we
MX
give you.
records. Yeah.
Yeah,
All right. So, last question, guys, is on the product page. Is there a way to have a sticky
I
buy
like
button?
that. I like that. Actually, can you, Facebook user, mention that in this thread, or it's probably already there? I'm gonna add that because I like that idea. Basically, what they mean is a floating button. You're scrolling down on your phone, and the button stays there to buy. And yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know why. I may have already had it in Trello, but I'll double
I
check.
believe we do have it in trouble with now that he mentioned it. Now we have a last question, and this is the last question, guys. Are you going to go over email to build a list? Of course, because it's the easiest way to actually build a list with GrooveKart using your newsletter module. So we're gonna go over again at it, but
Yeah,
we will cover it next session.
we might use either MailChimp or Klaviyo, whatever, just to show you how to, we're not going to go into
Integrated.
this, we're not going to go into all the specifics of Klaviyo or all, but we're going to show you how to do it and then how to add a beautiful pop-up. You know what I
Right.
mean? So you can be like, they scroll down 60%, boom, join our VIP club or something like that.
Exactly. We're definitely going to cover that. And this is not a question, but he said, is it possible to link applications like Customly or Teen Blue to better personalized products? It's
Uh,
actually, we're working towards that, guys. That's one of the paramount ideas that we have had for the longest. But again, we do have to provide you guys with a stable product. So we're going step by step. But it is in the horizon, Ahmed. So we will keep you posted. All right.
Yeah, and that's it. I mean, we could be here for till 12 o'clock at night. But listen, you guys' time is valuable. So is John. So is mine. So with that being said, guys, we appreciate you being here. Get started. Play around with the platform. If you don't have a set store yet, get in there and learn. There's plenty of videos. You can go to groove.how, groove.how, and then search by app, and you'll find plenty of training there that's going to help you. It's up to date. Our good friend and team member Elliot keeps that up to date. He does a
Yes.
tremendous job. I don't know. That guy's just phenomenal at what he does. So go to groove.how. And with that being said, one more thing. Listen, the time is coming. The doors are shutting. The opportunity to get upgraded is ending. And you don't want to be on the other side saying, oh my God, I missed the boat. No, we've told you. We've told you it's coming.
Yes.
The opportunity to upgrade to lifetime and never have a monthly payment is ending. That I don't know. Think about Indiana Jones. That door's coming down. He's trying to get through. It's coming. It's
Through
closing
the temple.
to the temple. Yeah. So
So
listen.
if you want to be part of the people that worship Groove, please do. I mean, upgrade because in reality, it's a great offer, guys. I mean, if we think about it, if you think in the long run about having your own stores, having your own funnels, having more funnels, having to pay monthly, do it. And one last thing, guys, I promise this is the last one. Sí, las instrucciones en español van a venir pronto. Frank y yo estamos trabajando en un plan para poner toda la información que tenemos de Groove en español. Entonces, vamos a anunciarlo pronto. Pensamos que vamos a comenzar en febrero. And I said that last part in Spanish, so our friend Calco Graphics and another couple of guys that are actually interested in Spanish, we are going to have that very soon, guys.
Yeah, because listen, let's not kid ourselves. That's the fastest growing market in North America. And listen, again, we could keep on going. It's coming. We know, we've heard you, and it's part of what's slated for what we got coming down the road. And this year for GrooveKart is tremendous, guys. I mean, listen, just be excited, but do something. Get started now. Don't wait for all this other new cool stuff. Just get going. That's my message.
All right, guys. So we're gonna call it a night. Frank, as always, thank you very much for being with us tonight. It's a pleasure, guys. Everybody that participate: Jason, Coach Ryan, Ahmed, Christian, Jim, Dwight, everybody that actually helped us today. So it's always a pleasure, and we'll see you next Tuesday at 4 o'clock. And you have a great week and a great night.
All right. Thank you, guys. We'll see you on the next one.
Bye bye.